edition of Battle Mode. We got a very, very special guest pulling up to the arena. Vaughn Alexander, appreciate you coming through. So, for everybody who doesn't know you, you're the father of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the uncle of Nickeil Alexander-Walker. So, what's going on with you, bro? Appreciate you coming through the Gils Arena.
Appreciate you having me, man. Appreciate you having me. I'm just blessed here, man. Just like, said I need to pull up to the spot where I see some real shit happening, some podcasts that I can actually listen to and watch.
Yeah.
Not every one of them I can watch, right? So you guys are keeping it real. So I said, let me just come around the real ones, man, and chop it up a bit.
For sure, man. Appreciate you coming through. So we connected All-Star Weekend. Went to SGA's Converse party. Obviously got his first signature shoe coming out. So he said he was in town. He hit me last night. He's like, I'm at the Marriott. I'm like, which one? He's like, the one right over here, Willow Hill. I'm like, bet, say less.
Perfect timing.
But for you, you got Thunder, 61 wins this season. Shai just had his 66th straight 20-point game. May or may not have been the reason that Taylor Jenkins got fired. Thunder smacked the Grizzlies last night. He had nothing to do with it. May have been the nail in the fire coffin. But for you, what's it like to see Shai out here balling like he's balling, on pace to win his first MVP, his first official when he won the Gils Arena MVP last year? Yeah, he won it last. We already won it last year, but
I already know. I see you guys had to vote in. I know you guys are on this team, man. But really and truly, to answer your question, it's just a blessing, man. It's just count my blessings every day, wake up and sort of pinch myself, but not really still. Because like I said, when you put the hard work in, and he puts the work in, like, this thing is real. So at the end of the day, it's just like, yeah, man, he's doing what he's supposed to do, man. I'm just proud father. That's all I can say, man.
What's funny is, this was like 3 years ago, Olin was telling me about him. Yeah, Olin was telling me about him. And he was like, man, you really have to come and watch him. He said the details he puts in, the craftiness, the way he uses his shoulder instead of the old hand, it's the shoulder bump because refs don't usually call shoulder bump offensive, right? So it was watching him. I tell my son all the time, I'm like, man, he's very good in tight spaces, which people don't realize that that's a skill, right? Like usually after you get past free throw line, you're trying to already jump.
Right.
Under the free throw line, there's only a few people who really know how to maneuver in spaces like that, right? And that is a skill on its own. You're talking about Kyrie, Luka, Shai, Kobe, right, was very good in those little areas.
Tight crevices and corners where you're underneath the rim and you got to actually read angles and change your pace and direction.
Hakeem Olajuwon, right? 100%. So there's only a small group that when you get past the free throw line to understand, keep the ball.
Yeah, we're not speeding me up. I'm keeping my dribble alive. You know what you're talking about. I don't have to tell you.
Yeah, but it was, you know what I mean? Because, when I watch it, like, I don't consider no player bad player, right? I want to know what made you good, what made you great, how did you get here, right? So I just look for the positivity in a player. 100%. So when I'm watching him, I'm just like, man, this is crazy. He's very crafty and good already at this level.
Yeah, I think that's a testament. Yeah, obviously I trained him from a young age, been around him, but I mean, the main thing is that these guys watch a lot of ball. You know what I mean? I tell these young kids growing up that, yeah, you can play all you want, but like, see, watching the game is really, really important. You watch it over and over and over. I know you guys probably have the same mentality that, like, when you get into a situation now, the coach calls a timeout, 13 seconds left, we're down by 4. Do we have to shoot a 3? Should we foul right away? What's the situational part of the game? But watching it over and over again, when that comes in and you're 9 years old, the coach calls the timeout, you already telling coach what to do. Fuck's this coach talking about? I already know what the fuck to do. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this all my life, but you're still gonna listen to hear what the coach has to do, but you already have in your head, I'm gonna foul right away. I'm gonna steal the ball, we have to foul over. We're not gonna let him inbounds the ball and then be like, guiding him up the court. He's gonna run the fucking clock out. You know what I'm saying? Like, we already know that we have to foul right away. We're going for a steal, but the steal is like a bonus because we don't get the steal, we're gonna hit him and stop the clock. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that is stuff like a testament just watching the game. Yeah, I can train you those things, like we were talking about it, but when you play the game and then watch it over and over, and then you're in that situation, it's like when you've never even been in that situation before, you've seen it. So you're like, I'm ready to do this, bro. I know what to do. You know what I mean? So he's like, that's a little bit different, but it comes to him like not being able to speed him up, the way he plays, the way he thinks the game. It's more about just watching the game so much and having an understanding mentally, and then the physical comes in after. You know what I'm saying?
So who are you guys watching coming up? Like, who were your favorite players growing up, and who did
get into this?
But who was Shai watching when he was coming up?
Obviously, you already know we Jordan guys, man. I watch you guys. Stop it. Jordan's the killer. Fuck everybody else. Shai's generation.
Jordan heavy or Toronto?
It's Kobe, and then it's Iverson. See, I was an Iverson guy. I'm not gonna lie. Iverson's my favorite player. Jordan's the killer. Iverson's my favorite player. See, that's why.
See, you're like me, man. Like you can separate shit.
Yeah, Jordan's the best ever played. Iverson's my guy.
Yeah, and
that's just my opinion. Like everybody can have their guy. But with Shai, it's like I think it's Kobe and Iverson for him. I don't know why. Like he doesn't put Jordan up there. Like, he just tell me,
so he's not a Jordan fan.
He's not really, but he knows
young,
like stop this. You're wearing Jordans every day. You're wearing stop this, bro. Like they know what Jordan's
we respect who he is, but it's just
They doesn't really like to watch him as much. So they don't really have that. They still have that, you know, like you saw Kobe, you saw Iverson. And Iverson was his main guy. Like when we were like, when Vince, no respect to Vince and everything, but when Vince was in Toronto, I'm from Toronto, right? When Vince was in Toronto and that was 0-1 and they went to Game 7 or Game 6 and Vince missed that jump shot, bro. We were in the stands with Iverson jerseys, all three. I think Shai, Nikhil, and me were all, like Shai was about 2.5. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, obviously, you know, I'm gonna tell you my age, but we're all there in Iverson jerseys. I remember walking out, cheering, and the Raptor fans like, yo, what the fuck? You couldn't put them in no Vince jersey? Like, oh, Vince, right? Iverson all day. Back then, no, Iverson all day. So you kind of see the Shai's taking all the cornrows, the flex, the swag. You know what I mean?
So that's where it comes.
And then get to the lane. Yeah. And they're talking about free throw merch. We'll touch on that, but get to the lane like Iverson, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then we'll shoot some threes, but we're not gonna shoot a bag of threes right now. We're gonna do the hard way, through the hard way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I'm looking at your style, right? So does he get your style from you?
Bro,
because like his fashion style, like,
tell him he's stealing the
like, you know what I'm saying? This fashion style.
I'm not gonna rip that from him right now, because you know it's gonna start a beef when we get home, right? So I'm gonna tell you, right? We have our own thing and we're old school, right? So
yeah.
It's in the family. I'll go back to my dad and my mom and my great. You know, it's in the family still. Yeah. So put it that way.
Yeah, no, I love his style.
I'll give him his own swag.
You know, I love his style. Congratulations on the new shoes, new signature shoe. We saw it out there in San Francisco. It was dope. I just love the whole marketing and rollout for him. So me and Gil, of course, we have our own signature shoes. So we love the marketing and everything he got behind his own style.
TD Garden, put the signal up.
I'm gonna wear some of you guys shit on my. You wear some of the shit.
Yeah, for sure. No, for sure.
Make it happen, bro.
So you brought it up. Let's get into it. I think Shai's second right now free throw attempts per game. Has been dubbed foul baiter, foul merchant, whatever. You know, we on this couch. Obviously, Gil, Brandon know how to draw fouls. It's an essential part of the game, essential part of scoring if you want to be an elite scorer. But what do you think about that whole kind of negative connotation around his ability to draw fouls?
We already know what it is, man. It's like, you know, if you ain't doing nothing, nobody ain't talking about you, right? You know, you ain't gonna have no haters and you ain't do nothing proper, right? So at the end of the day, like, I just look at a lot of it, it's like haterade still, because at the end of the day, drawing fouls is a part of the game. It's actually a skill. It's actually a skill. Like, you go back to, I said, Iverson and Kobe and the guys that do it, like, you're trying to, like, draw a foul, yes, but that doesn't make you, like, why wouldn't I want to try to draw a foul? When I beat you and you can't recover, say, in front of me, it's a foul, motherfucker. Yeah. Like, they say you can't touch it. Well, guess what? You're not supposed to touch people in basketball.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
I'm not saying you can't breathe on them. I get it. But if you're touching me, bro, you might be fouling me, bro. And it might be a foul. Like, I might got to go to the free throw. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to do that on purpose, but I'm trying to beat you, and you touch me. Yeah. Or you put, I put my shoulder on your hip, like, you're not moving. It's blocking, bro. Like, stop it. I don't see any, like, I would say that if I see, like, a lot of the calls that he gets, is like, bro, that wasn't a foul. What the fuck are they talking about? Like, hey, please. Okay, you're gonna get those, but every best player, like, you know, Mike and those guys, our guys, they said that about Mike. Stop this, you know? I mean, don't you remember the one where the Olympics one, where I think it was Magic, and they're taking that picture of the Olympics, and Magic's like, oh, can't get too close to Mike. You can't touch Mike. Right? Like, stop this, bro. When you're the best, you get that, right? And I'm not saying Shai's the best, so I'm just saying at the end of the day, he's changing pace. He's not trying to blow by you with his speed and his strength. And he's not going to dunk it out, touch the moon. We don't think the game's about that, really. It's about, like I said, it's up here. Yeah, and then of course you have to have some athleticism with it, but his first step is what his thing is. You know what I mean? It's not, he's not going to run a 50-yard dash, the fastest guy. You know what I mean? His first step is, you know, he's going to lower your sleep a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And change pace and change direction on you. So that's going to lead to fouls sometimes, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's so funny about that? Like, because I study the game so much and I understand, like, human behavior, right? It's, you know, the old school basketball defense was over offense, right? And then eventually, you know, it became even in like the 60s and 70s, and then the 80s, you know, the offense became, you know, 60-40, and then the 2000s they try to get it back to even, but now we're talking about offense is like 80-20, right? Since time has stood in, you know, the evolution of basketball, defense hasn't actually evolved. Whatever rules was created then are still now. Offense Has evolved, right? So moves that was in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s compared to now, like like Jordan has certain moves he did, right? He perfected those. The moves that are
so
created
true,
since
son. I
then.
never really thought about it like that, but not to cut you, but like it's so true. Like offense changes like rapidly. You know what I mean? But defense is like, keep your man in front of you, move your feet, don't reach. Like it's
Below
so true.
baseline, go this way, close out this, and
I
it's
never really
so.
thought of it like that.
It's
When
so
you break it down that way, and like how you said, studying human behavior, right?
Yeah.
So like on offense, okay, you got to play both sides of the floor, right? So I know that. Yeah, I'm covering you right now, but remember, I play offense too. So I kind of know what you're going to do, right? So I'm anticipating your movements as opposed to waiting and then reacting. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm like, if I'm sliding my feet, I think he's going there. I'm going to get there before you get bam charge. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to waiting and then move. That's too late.
That's what says it's weird how people think offensive players are just horrible defensive players. Actually, we have to know defense better than the defense.
Thank you.
Because I'm averaging 30, which means I know everything
What you're
you're
about to do.
supposed to do. If I get below the free throw line, you're supposed to push me baseline. All right, I'll just wait here. When he goes back and tag, then I'll drop, then you'll shift, then I'm gonna go. Right? When I go, you're gonna be trying to speed up, I'll stop, boom, right? Offense is genius, right? It's very rare. Like when you see a defensive genius, he stands out. Dennis Rodman stood out. Michael Jordan stood out. Pippen stood out. Kobe stood out. Hakeem. Like you can tell who Kawhi. These guys stand out because they don't get baited by offensive players because they know offensive talent. They sit there and study what is his habits,
100%.
right? Just like we study their habits. Like I know, like if I go left and step back and I make Kawhi turn, he's gonna jump this way. I know what Tony Allen's gonna do.
It's like a premeditated thing you have in your hand. So that's why when they say the game is slowed down for me, or like you can't speed him up and all that stuff, it's because it really is slowed down. The game's like moving in slow motion when you move, but it's moving fast. But I know what you're gonna do the next play and the next play. You know what I'm saying? So if I know 2-3 plays ahead, it's gonna look like it's gonna look like you can't speed me up. But really, truly, I'm moving just as fast as I need to move, and I see the game moving fast, but I already know what's about to happen. If I do this causes that, cause a reaction, right? So it's just read and react. 24/7.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, do you feel like the game has slowed down for him?
Oh yeah, that shit was slow last year.
Okay.
Like just through history, Tim Duncan, the game was slow early. For Kobe, I think around 2002, 01, the end of 02, that shit was slow for him.
Okay.
Right? Braun.
Because he's still so young.
Early. Like Carmelo, it was slow for him early, right?
Okay.
Like when you look at someone and you're like, man, this game is too easy for them. Right? Like I'll look at a game like the game ain't boring for him yet. You can tell when it becomes boring, like this is too easy, when he just start adding shit to his game that he just doesn't need, right? Right, like when I look at James.
I know what you mean. Man.
James, the game became so too easy for him when he started just adding skip. He's just doing that shit because just regular basketball becomes too easy, right? Like just like Luka, it becomes boring. KD boring. Curry, it became boring to him where he's shooting, doing shit, like, you know what I mean? So
you're right.
When the game starts slowing down for some of these guys, you be like, damn, they already masters.
Certain things,
Like he's an early master. Like I was trying to get into that level. Like at 25, I wasn't a master at it. I was still using, like I'm faster than you, I'm stronger than you, because I know your offense, but I didn't get into master mode. Right?
Same.
At 25 and 24, these kids are at master mode already. And I'm just sitting here like, this is incredible.
Yeah, and I think that comes from who's around them, too. Like I said, like even your youth, I've seen your youth play, and I looked at them like, yo, this kid's going to be a killer still. Between me and you, like, same kind of thing. I see a lot of Shai's game in him, a lot of, I get what's going on right now. You can just tell when you know what's about to happen in the way you play. You know what I'm saying? Some people like, bam, 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 bam. You just see that they're like, my moves got to be, like, I'm watching you, bro. It's really reacting with you, and I already got all these moves. So I'm not going to waste no energy. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to get to my spot, boom, rise up. Like, he's got that. I'm not just telling you that, I'm telling you straight that he's going to be a killer.
We were at the city championship game, Chatsworth, Westchester. He made a move. He's at the top of the key, but like just so slow, but you could just see if you know who. Oh, he's about to beat this dude. And this dude has no idea what's coming from her right now. But just change your pace quick, got to the bucket.
Yeah. And I haven't watched him a lot. But I'm that guy. Like, you know, look at it, it's like looking at a girl in profile. Yo, stop it. You know what I mean? But I can look at you one time and look in his eyes. I'll be straight with you know. I look at his eyes and look at him like, yo, this guy's a killer. And then I'll watch his game. And then matches, you know what I mean? I'm being straight. Some I look at their eyes. I think he's played good, not to cut you. And I'm like, he's nice. And then I look at his eyes. I'm like, this guy's not a killer. You know what I'm saying?
No, it is. As players, we do that.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, straight.
I seen when I started paying attention to your son is when Doc Rivers, which is weird, right? But Doc Rivers was trying to convince Kawhi that they should keep
him.
Yeah, he's like, well, no, we don't need Paul. We got something.
We got something.
Yeah. So the fact that he's like, well, he's willing to just, we don't need Paul George, and Paul George had a great year, and he's like, no, we actually got somebody. And the fact that he was lobbying, like, we don't need, you know, Paul. We have someone here. That's when I was like, wait, damn, you lobbying for a young fella? That's when I started really paying attention.
1 year in the league at that point.
I know, that's when I started paying attention.
Doc is usually, he has young players, but Doc usually makes young players kind of take their time, right? Yeah. So I was like, yeah, okay, but that in itself is a whole new thing too, like that topic right there, like that's a TSN turning point. You don't know about TSN, but that's a, shout out to TSN, that's a Toronto station, right? But like, that was a TSN turning point in our life, you know what I mean? It's like, wow. Like, you know what I mean? We're cool in LA, he's had a good first rookie year, everything is nice, and then bam, Oklahoma City, and it's like, Oklahoma, nothing's over there, you know, you think, but like, I swear, like about maybe 30 minutes later, we both sat down and was like, you know what? This is it, Shai, stop this. They have you like Avery Bradley, no disrespect, Patrick Beverly, no disrespect, but Lou Williams, no disrespect, but those guys ain't point guards. If I'm correct, I don't know if I'm wrong, but those guys ain't real point guards. She was a point guard in Kentucky, right? Came up as a point guard, and then, Doc brought him in and made him play and started him, but he still like bring up the ball and then go to the corner, right? That's why, no disrespect, 10 points a game, but you don't go from 10 points a game your rookie year to 19.5 the second year, like you learned to play in 3 months in the offseason. You know what I'm saying? He was that guy from day one. Colin Sexton, DeAndre Ayton, everybody just got that. They were on bad teams, and they could just do what they wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? He was on a good team. It was a veteran team. Remember, if you remember that Clippers team, and they got to the playoffs. I think they took 2 games off of Golden State that year in the playoffs, right? So it wasn't it was a veteran team, but I get it. Doc was bringing them along slowly, but it was like, I was always saying, bro, I don't give a shit. Like, let him handle one. Let him just trust me, bro. He's a 1. You know what I'm saying? But people thought he was like he's a scoring guard, right? So people thought kind of he's like a 2. Like, what is he? And I'm like, bro, just put the ball in his hands. Because at the end of the day, he's going to make the right decisions with the ball like that. A lot of people say, he takes a lot of shots and free throw merchant shit, but just check how much times he gives up shots, bro. Because I'm a killer too. I
see what he gets.
I'm watching you on the couch right now.
Yeah, like he's ready to go upstairs.
Like he's open, you're open. What's the difference?
Yeah,
like,
what's the
shoot
difference?
the fucking ball, like, you know?
Trust
yourself or trust him.
We got the court upstairs, but
if he's open and you're covered, I get it. You know, but if we're both open, like, I trust myself. You know?
So we talk about this on the show a lot, but you got difference between a bad team and a young team, right? Shai gets to OKC. The record may not reflect how good the team is or where they're going, right? They're making those steps heading in that direction. We saw it a couple years ago. Like, maybe didn't expect as big a jump as we saw last season. But now this year, they got 61 wins already. I think 4 away from setting the overall Sonics Thunder franchise record. Already set the OKC franchise record. But when you look at this team and the conversation around them being too young to win a championship, what do you have to say to that?
I'll go back to some MJ shit, you know what I mean? Even though that team was older, but I remember when I lost some money on that, bro. I remember in 91 when I was like, not really a Magic fan, but I was like, you know, I was just dealing with facts. Like, Magic's had like, 5 rings, 9 years or 4 years. I was like, bro, this guy's a winner. You're too young. So, man was coming with money at school. I was in high school. I was like, bro, I put all my money on Magic. You know what I mean? I don't care. And it wasn't even a Magic fan. It was more just math and betting. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just betting on the favorite, so to speak. You know what I mean? And then I was like, bro, you know what? After the first game especially, I remember I think they took the first game, right? I was like, bro, this might be, but then I was like, all right, we got to go back to LA. It was like, then they had the 2-3-2 format, right? So I was like, when they took the first one, how did it go? I think they took the first one. Yeah, they took the first one, and then I was like, and then I think LA won the second one, made it 1-1, right? And then they went 3 straight in. And I was like, yo, But like I said, I lost some money on that because I was just thinking like they're just not ready yet. And that was crazy because like I said, I'm a Mike guy. But I was just like, Mike, you got some time. You know what I mean? Like Mike's, you know, come on, that's his 5th, 6th year. So what's Shane? It's like 6th year right now. If you guys want to go back to what I'm talking about with Shane and shit, like he's ready. 6 years in, like right. If they're the best team in the league right now, it's gonna come down to just what we do in the playoffs. And you guys already know. I don't have to tell you guys. I never played in the league, but playoff ball is different. I know you guys know that. But like what you do in the regular season, man dropped 24 in the regular season. Real killers drop 30 in the playoffs. And regular player will drop 24 in the regular season and go down to 19 in the playoffs.
You know what I'm saying? No, you're dead ass serious.
It's all about what if they can take it to the next level in the playoffs, which I think they can. Let's do it, bro.
Shai's 33 right now.
No, what I'm saying is
33 going.
Yeah, well, that's what Iverson did, right? Iverson was 33 and then 40 in the playoffs. When they won that when he went 4-1 and he stepped over Tyler, 40 in the playoffs.
You look at it exactly how everyone else look at it at the NBA, the executives, the players, like
next level.
The playoffs is a different breed of basketball, right? So a superstar, whatever you're averaging, you at least hold. Like a bad series for you hold your amount, but the superstar itself goes up.
There's no dropping down.
Like pretender, a regular season guy, right?
Goes down.
Because
it gets tougher, man. Diving for loose balls, man. Elbow you in the rib, like, bro, what the fuck? Like, I'm not going home.
Like I'm scouting. Right? I'm scouting you now.
Right? And I got 7 games. Right. So it's a different. Like I said, I never played in the league, but I watch.
You watch enough? Yeah. You got it.
Like, and I made my you sit down right here and be like, yo, what you, Wiley Cyrus? Get over here. Watch the football.
Yo, do you believe your son is the MVP?
100%, fam, 100%. And like I said, not just because he's my son. If he wasn't my son, I'd be like, yo, this is the MVP, bro. Like, you know? And like I said, I rate what Jokic do. What Jokic is doing is crazy. Let's keep it real. Like, I don't even want to say this on air, but if he wasn't to win it, I wouldn't be like, oh, he got snubbed, because what he's doing, bro, is stupid. Bro. It really is. Let's just keep it real. But having said all that, fuck that. Shane's the MVP.
That's what I wanted to hear.
50 fucking 30-point games. First team All-NBA 3 years straight. He's playing on the youngest team, 61 wins. What are they? Denver got like 13, 14 games behind us. Stop this, bro. Just give it to him this year, and then we could talk about it next year.
Yeah.
Let's run it back. Let's run it back. It's about consistency, right?
Yes.
And what Jokic does is, because he's going to do it next year, so are we. Let's talk about this next year. But this year, come on, man, give us this and stop this.
Facts.
Dead ass.
Facts. That's a great endorsement. I'm gonna go ahead and say, because we talk about those.
Just like
I gave it to him last year. Right? I'm like,
I already know. I've been
you got
watching
a
you guys,
college-age team and you're number 1, and this is what you're doing. Wait, what are we discussing? Like,
50, 30-point games, that. Like, led the league in steals. Like, he plays both sides of the floor. Jokic don't really play no defense, no disrespect. Yeah, he got steals, but you guys know how steals goes. My guy's Iverson. Led the league in steals, right? Not the best defender.
I was like 3 or 4 behind him, and shit, I was sitting there.
So let's just keep it real. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean you're a bad defender, but it's not, you know what I mean? Let's not say he's a good defender because he leads the league in steals. You know what I'm saying?
So, NBA basketball family fraternity, right? NBA basketball dads. Reason you came out here, we've been talking since we met at All-Star. You get ready to launch a podcast, right? So tell people a little bit about the podcast you got coming and what you're going to be doing.
I appreciate that. Yeah. So it's called Basketball. It's actually called No Flukes. No Flukes is my foundation. So what I'm about. It's a movement, right? No Flukes is like, you see, you got a kid in the NBA, and then you got a next nephew in the NBA, and then I got a younger son that's 6'7" point guard coming to, right? Named Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And they're like, yo, this is a fluke. You're lucky. Bro, we don't deal with luck out here. Hard work and perseverance. So no flukes.
That's the name of my foundation.
See? But it also has, every letter has an acronym as well. Never opting for less. Unified knowledge equals success. See, you put that together, that's supposed to no flukes, right? So that's what we do, right? So the podcast is going to be like No Flukes Breeding Greatness. See? Because this is about really breeding greatness. It's not just about basketball dads, but it's going to be No Flukes Breeding Greatness, Basketball Dads 101. So now we have basketball dad. I'm sure you're a dad. You know what I mean? And it doesn't have to be NBA dads. Bro, no, tell me your story of how you guys did this, bro. Because you guys have success, bro. I want successful people around me to tell their story, because it's like a blueprint for people. Like, I don't want to sell this on e-commerce online. I want people to go and watch back our show and be like, yo, do you hear what Gilbert said, what he did with his son? Well, we got to do that same thing, bro. It makes sense. You know what I mean? There's some things that we're not doing. You know what I mean? It's not like, yo, I'm not here trying to gatekeep this thing and like, oh, I'm the only one, some kids in the NBA. No, let's bring our next feet off the youth, bro. Get to the NBA tour, get a scholarship, and go find your wife in Wisconsin University and never come back to Toronto to do it. Never make me see you again. You don't have to get to the NBA. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the podcast is about. It's about breeding greatness, No Flukes 101, basketball dads, teaching people, like, with all basketball. I have Trae Young's pops. I got John Halliburton. I got Wembanyama's dad was supposed to go to Paris and talk to these niggas and make them know,
I like that.
bro,
Hell yeah.
They all kind of do their own thing too. Every dad has their own story. Like Trae Young's dad has a sick story where he has a foundation where he helps kids. Wembanyama's dad built up courts back in Paris. So we're gonna move around with our thing and go right into the hood and then go back to our studio. And then you're gonna come check me. Stop. You gotta come check me in Toronto.
We're gonna pull up. We have to make a trip
have
to
this
Toronto.
shit like reading greatness. It's all about what great people are doing, and just give me your story and let people know about it instead of gatekeeping this information. Let's see if we can get some more people like this off the block. Because in Toronto, it's really rough right now, too. I don't know if you guys know, but you got 13, 14 others shooting each other in the foot, in the face, and all kind of bullshit going on out there. So right now, we're trying to change it up and make them know, say, yo, anybody can do this, bro. No flukes, bro. No accidents, no luck. You know what I'm saying? Straight.
And before I let you go, we were talking before the show. I know how committed you are to just building a basketball community in Toronto. So let's talk a little bit about just the stuff you're doing to help the youth. You talk about all the violence going on out there. What are you doing to help shield them from that and expose them to the game?
Yeah, that's it. Like we basically had, like I said, the foundation called the No Flukes Foundation. So we partner with the Toronto Community Housing. That's like the community housing in our area. And what we do is we do midnight ball. So we take them off the streets from about 8:30 to about 1:30 at night. Make them, that's the highest crime rate times, and on the weekends, and shuttle bus them from like about 7 different hoods to my gym, and then they play in the league, and they feed them, give them some financial literacy, talk to them about life, watch, like they fill out like questionnaires, like when they first come to the end of the program, and figure out like what are you struggling with, what do you want to become, at the end we check the retention rate. Let's see what's really going on, like if this is really working, because a lot of people do these things and it's like, they do it just for like the name or the charity or I have something, but bro, is it working? Like what's going on? How much youths are becoming something, or are all these youths like shooting each other after this, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make no sense to me. So that's just one of the things we do, and then we have like an after school program. We do a lot of things where we try to just keep the youth off the streets and just try to give back, just try to make it. Cause I come from nothing. I come from some dark places. But my thing wasn't nice first. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you're not gonna really hear I got an X-File. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to like do some good stuff and give it back. You know what I'm saying, fam? Because at the end of the day, like that's what it is, man. I think I got this blessing here, not because Shai them are just good. Yes, I trained them, and yes, I got it, but that's a blessing, bro. There's a reason why I'm here. You know what I mean? So I just feel like I got to give it back.
Two family members in the NBA helping grow the game in Toronto, and obviously Oklahoma City now, man. We wish Shai the best of luck. Like I said, he was the MVP of Gils Arena last season. Y'all rolling with him this year? There's been I ain't even gonna front on you because I'm like Jokic triple-double. Like, big man first to do it. But then, to your point, I look at the standings, and we're not supposed to make it about winning and all that stuff, right? It's supposed to be about individual performance. They
do actually say, too, like they say the definition of the MVP to the NBA's definition is most valuable to your team. I don't know if I'm wrong, but that's what they say, most valuable to your team. You can't take Shai off that team that's 21 years old and tell me that they're not like maybe 6, 7 seed, right? Like Jokic's got a Jamal Murray, he's got a Kevin Porter Jr. that don't miss. Like you put Kevin Porter Jr. beside Shai, I'm telling you, that's like
Michael Porter.
Sorry, Michael Porter.
Yeah, well, maybe that's what I'm here to do now.
Right? Yeah, you put that type of sniper beside the kid, it's a problem. Like I'm not saying like Isaiah Joe's that time. No disrespect to OKC, we got those kids are great, right? But they're all coming up, learning to be. That's what the youth comes in, right? But I feel like Kevin Porter Jr. is a sniper.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, Michael Porter Jr. is a sniper.
Kevin Porter Jr.
Kevin somewhere. There's a Kevin somewhere. He's nice. Trying to change his name to come over there.
He's nice too. But I'm just trying to say, like, that's the type of stuff that they got beside them, right? And like Jamal Murray is like one of those all-stars that should have been an all-star. So you can say he's not an all-star, but stop it. Right? Like, you remember last year in the playoffs, I think it was like 2 buzzer beaters.
Do unfortunately remember
if he doesn't hit those games, I think, bro, I don't know, maybe LA wins that. Like, LA wasn't that far off in that series. You know what I'm saying? Those buzzer beaters were
That is fair.
That's a fact.
But we don't have that buzzer beater guy on OKC. J-Dub's nice, but he's coming.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He's an all-star, but he's, you know what I mean?
So you're thinking just how I'm thinking, like
they're building right now.
Yeah, they're
so what
still
they're doing, they're
trying.
ahead of the, you know what I mean? He's playing with the house money right now. So, bro, let's give him his NBA stop.
And back to that, like Vaughn said, give him his MVP and stop this shit. Vaughn, we appreciate you pulling up. I appreciate the arena, man. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Love the style.
Everybody who came for battle mode, sorry to interrupt battle mode. We'll let y'all get back to your battle mode.
It's all right, baby.
I already know, bro.
It's going back to you.
Battle mode.
Battle mode zone.